Yo, what's going on guys, it is Tom and welcome back to a brand new video, and this is episode number 15 of Schumacher Returns, and we are here for the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, and the one where most Italian drivers or fans will always want to win, and especially in this case it's no different as Michael Schumacher is out here to win the Italian Grand Prix in front of the Tifosi, Ferrari's home race, and there's a lot of pressure here on the Scuderia to perform and try and get a decent qualifying result. So as you can see, Michael's preparing himself for his one and only qualifying lap here at Monza, one of the classic circuits on the calendar, one that, has a lot of pedigree, a lot of racing history, and it's just one that has just had such good tradition around here, and all the great winners have won here. So as you can see, Michael is getting ready for his one and only qualifying lap, and here we go then, coming across the start finish line right about now. We're going to see what Michael can do around Monza, see if we can try and put on a smile on the Tifosi's face here as we go, making our way into turns 1 and 2 here, braking nice and late down the second gear, maybe even first if we need to, and then get it all over the curbs. You want to use as much curb as possible and try and get a clean exit on the exit of the chicane there as we now make our way through turn 3, Curva Grande, one of the hardest corners on the track because you need to carry all the speed and you need to line yourself up for the next part of the chicane, which is coming up right now, which is turns 4 and 5 I believe, and you want to slow it all down for third gear, possibly second, and once again getting all over the curbs here, and you want to really push that exit curb and really get as wide as you can as you make our way into the first Lesmo down to third gear. Make sure you bring it in nice and late after the first initial apex, and then once again down to the second Lesmo, the hardest corner on the track here because the backer can really step out on you mid corner, so you got to be very careful for that as we now make our way pushing very hard on the throttle now down the back straight as we go under the little bridge here into the Ascari chicane, one of the hardest corners once again on the track because this track is mostly straight, so whenever there's a corner they're genuinely quite hard as we go through the Ascari chicane right now. Half a second down on Nick Heidfeld, who's the man on pole position, running out as wide as you can right on the ragged edge there on the exit of the Ascari chicane as we now approach the final corner on the track, and this is definitely the hardest one, if not the second Lesmo. It's the Parabolica, third gear. You want to really hold it in, you're really loading up the left front tyre here as you now power through the gears, get on the speed, and we're going to try and come across the start finish line now, which is a bit further back than what it normally is in real life as we now go up to 310 kilometers an hour across the line, and it's going to be P5 for Michael Schumacher and 6/10 off of Nick Heidfeld in the Williams. So a pretty decent qualifying lap there from Michael, a track that in real life the Ferraris didn't really perform, and looking at the final qualifying results, you can see that Heidfeld won the race with Montoya in second place, and then a Raikkonen finishing third with Mark Webber in fourth. So it's a Williams and McLaren top 4 with Takuma Sato up in P5 there, and Michael eventually finished in P6 for Ferrari with Jenson Button in P7, Fernando Alonso in P8, Giancarlo Fisichella in P9, and Ralf Schumacher in P10 rounding off the top 10. So overall a pretty interesting qualifying. Barrichello there in the other Ferrari down in P14, so the Ferrari will not be happy with that one. Tifosi will be hoping he can pull out a bit of a performance out of the bag, but we're going to move into the race now and let's see how things shape up for the Italian Grand Prix as we've got the 5 red lights here, and the Italian Grand Prix is about to get underway now very soon, and I can't wait. Let's see what Michael can do from 6th on the grid as the lights go green right about now, and Michael gets a pretty decent start off the line here, and he actually bogs down a little bit on the second phase of the start, but the initial launch was very good as now Michael's picking out some slipstream as we make our way into the first corner now, scene of so many famous first corner accidents here, and there's been contact between Michael and Takuma Sato there, and Michael's forced out wide by Ralf Schumacher right on the curb there, almost up to the gravel, and Michael's had a horrible start actually, losing 3 positions, but now Ralf Schumacher, look at that, straight around the outside of his brother there, so the two are really carrying some massive speed around here, but Michael's lost 3 positions on the start there, so he's got work to do as he now dives one up the inside of turn number 4 here, just a little bit of a squeeze there, and Michael eventually manages to get past Ralf Schumacher, and he also gets past Jenson Button on the exit as we now make our way into the first Lesmo, running out nice and wide to pull off a lovely little exit here, and can Michael possibly dive one up the inside of Mark Webber? No, he can't. He's going to have to hold back for a second here as he gets a brilliant exit out of the second Lesmo, and he's going to pull alongside Mark Webber and hopefully get past him before the Ascari chicane here. But look at that, Mark Webber actually coming straight back at him with the straight line speed in that Williams, and Michael right now is boxed in between these two cars here as we go into the Ascari chicane, but Michael's still going to go around the outside of Mark Webber there, so a fantastic move there on the Australian, and overall some really good overtaking from Michael so far this first lap as now Michael Schumacher is trying to gear up and prepare Alonso for a move here, picking up some slipstream. He goes to the inside. Is he going to try and dive one up the inside of the Parabolica? Yes, he does. A nice simple textbook move there up the inside of the final corner, and Michael Schumacher has got himself up into P5 now, so he's managed to recover quite nicely on that first lap and get himself back up to where he started, if not one position above that. But going on to the start of lap number 2 now, as you can see, he's still in the back of Takuma Sato here, picking up some massive slipstream, 340 Ks, as he now brake very hard for turn 1, down in second gear, the back end trying to snap away actually on the Ferrari because he broke a little bit too late there, and that allows Fernando Alonso to re-overtake and get past us. Sato manages to stay behind, but we've let one position go, so Michael's going to have to try and get them back. As you can see, Michael let Sato through because obviously, he did cut the first chicane, so that was an illegal overtake, and Michael would have to give that move back in real life. So, just doing what has to be done there. Fair play to Michael Schumacher. But, now literally through turns 4 and 5, Sato gets all out of shape here. Michael, is he going to try and dive one up the inside? Yes, he does. A fantastic move up the inside of the first Lesmo there. Very nice and late on the brakes. And he's now back on the back of Fernando Alonso here, going through the second Lesmo. Similar to last lap with, Mark Webber, Alonso gets all out of shape on the exit, and Michael gets a fantastic exit on the Lesmo, and he manages to get past him quite easily there. So, not much of a fight put up by the young Spaniard, unlike previous races. Turkey springs to mind where Alonso really put up a brilliant defensive drive. But as you can see, Michael is now on the back of Kimi Raikkonen here, and if he gets past him, he will be in a podium scoring position here. So here we go then, down the pit straight, slipstream on the Iceman. Can Michael Schumacher possibly pick up a position here as he picks up the slipstream, 340 Ks, once again, fastest lap of the race also in the process, and he's just going to get nice and late on the brakes, down to second gear, even first gear. A nice tight squeeze from Kimi Raikkonen there, but he's going to go side by side, and Raikkonen is just going to hold on to the position for now. But can Michael possibly out-drag the McLaren here? It's looking like he can't. The McLaren is probably the most powerful engine on the grid here, believe it or not. So as you can see, Michael's had to settle for P4 for the time being, but he's going to pick up some slipstream here. And is he going to dive one up the inside? Yes, he does. And up ahead, Nick Heidfeld getting all out of shape, and Heidfeld actually half spins, and Raikkonen actually hits him. So Michael just about avoids those two, and avoids a massive crash there. So very fortunate for Michael Schumacher to avoid that crash. And as you can see, that's pretty much put him on the back of Montoya now, who's in the race lead. So the championship leader in the race lead here at a Ferrari track, and that cannot happen. So Michael's got something to say about that, and he's going to object against this, and he's going to want to put that wrong and put it right for Ferrari here. As you can see, going through Curva Grande into turn 4 once again. Is he going to go for the dive? Yes, he does, but a very late braking move, gets all out of shape on the exit, and has to cut across the runoff area there. As you can see, Montoya's actually re-overtaken him, so now Michael has full license to go back up the inside of the Colombian driver there, but there's almost contact there between the two, as Montoya just about hangs it around the outside of the Lesmo there. So fair play to Montoya for doing that. But as you can see, once again, Montoya gets all out of shape on the second Lesmo because they seem to run the very tight line, which really affects their line. But Montoya now, Michael goes side by side into Ascari here. But look at the straight line speed of that McLaren. It's absolutely fantastic here. And Michael's actually going to try and go around the outside here, but there's no room through, and he actually runs really deep onto the AstroTurf there. So no room through there for Michael Schumacher, and Montoya's going to hold on to the lead for the time being. But we skip on to one corner later, onto the start of lap number 8, and can Michael Schumacher possibly pick off Montoya here? He cranks up the engine to the maximum boost available, and he's going to come across the start finish line for start lap number 8. And is Michael going to dive one up the inside? Yes, he does. Down the second gear for the first corner, 350 kilometers an hour this time, the highest straight line speed of anybody around this circuit, I believe. And Michael gets the move done there on the Colombian, and that is the job done. And Michael's in first place for now, but one lap later, Montoya wants to come back at Michael here, and is he going to try and have a sniff up the inside of the first corner? Yes, he is. We're going to go side by side to the first corner, and Montoya's actually going to get the move done miles early. So some great late braking action there from the Colombian driver once again. And these two just fierce rivals from way back in 2001, and just going backwards and forwards to the position changes here, jockeying for position. And as you can see now, going through Curva Grande, Michael's going to try and respond to Montoya here by going around the outside. Could he make it stick here? He's going to have to brake really late, and yes, he does. He makes the move stick there. A fantastic overtake there from Michael Schumacher. Montoya gets all out of shape on the exit of the corner there. So great stuff there from the 7 times world champion. As you can see, go for the second Lesmo now on lap 10. Michael gets all out of shape there. He manages to catch it and not go into the barrier there, but that allows Montoya to re-overtake Michael Schumacher there. So, not ideal, but, could have been a much worse if Michael just smacked the wall there. So, overall, Michael gets away unscathed from that incident, and he's just going to have to hold behind Montoya for a little while and hopefully try and pick him off here now on the exit of Ascari, because look at this, the Ferrari really having loads of grip now in the second phase of the race through Ascari there. Plenty of grip on offer, and that's going to be a proper drag race here into the parabolic. And who's going to blink first here? Michael's going to try and go nice and late on the brakes, and he does make the move there on Montoya around the outside. So a fantastic overtake from the 7 times world champion, and that is him back up into the lead of the race. And hopefully this time this will be a definitive move, and it looks like it is going to be, because now skipping onto the final lap of the race through the Parabolica, Michael's going to come through the final corner for the final time in front of all of the Tifosi here at the main grandstand to come across and win the Italian Grand Prix in spectacular fashion after what was a brilliant overtaking drive. And overall, look at that, the fast lap of the race on the last lap there. So I'm really putting on a show there, and a statement of intent that Ferrari are trying to gun for this World Drivers' Championship. And looking at the final race results, you can see that it's Michael, Montoya and Raikkonen on the podium there. So both McLarens doing very well there to get second and third, with both of the Williams in fourth and fifth, with Nick Heidfeld leading Mark Webber. Then Takuma Sato and Jenson Button in sixth and seventh there, with Button just about beating Sato to the line. And then Ralf Schumacher is running off the top 8 with Giancarlo Fisichella in 9th, and then Felipe Massa in 10th, and then Rubens Barrichello still in P11 there, so no points for him once again. And Fernando Alonso way down in P14, so a shocking race from him. But I'm looking at the Drivers' Championship, you can see that Montoya is now 16 points clear of Michael Schumacher, so the gap is starting to reduce now, and we've got about 4 races left here, so it's game on in the World Drivers' Championship. And then Heidfeld is still in 3rd place, 10 points behind Michael, and he's pretty much out of contention for the World Drivers' title. And then Raikkonen in 4th place, Fisichella in 5th, Alonso 6th, and Sato in 7th. And then looking finally at the constructors, you can see that McLaren have pretty much wrapped up the Constructors' Championship here, and Ferrari have actually overtaken Williams this race by 1 point, so overall some solid progress there. But nevertheless guys, that was a hectic commentary. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you have, then please do smash that like button, and if you're new on here, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.